investors are anticipating, not just what's going to happen at WWDC, where they're going to release Cook and Cupertino, the AI strategy. But if you look at numbers coming out of, our Asia checks and others, you're seeing a stabilization of iPhone demand. And I think a renaissance of growth is now on the horizon for Apple.
Okay, I don't want to do a fanboy thing here, Dan Ives, but I'm absolutely blown away by the resolution from the M4 chip over to the fancy iPads. Wow. Are they going to cannibalize other Apple products, or are they going to stand on their own?
I think it stands on its own. Look, I mean, you've talked about this a lot. The chips, they beat Intel at their own game. And I think now you'll have a legit refresh on iPads, but it shows the power of those chips. And the important thing is that those chips, too, they're going to be able to ultimately navigate and deploy AI features within the broader Cupertino ecosystem. And that's why most are going to access AI in the future through an Apple device.
Hey, Dan, as Tom mentioned, this Apple's up 16% over the last period of time here, the last several days and weeks. What's the call on China these days? How's the market viewing the China, I'm going to call it a risk for Apple? How's the market digesting and discounting it?
Yeah, Paul, I think it went from a huge risk to what we've seen, especially our checks in Taiwan this week, stabilization to an uptick. So I think what's starting that market's starting to sniff out not just a stabilization, but an uptick in China. And at that point, I mean, that's Cook drinking a mimosa, because then you now start to see an upgrade cycle take place with the biggest event we've seen in a decade, with AI coming to Apple.
All right, so June, this developer conference, what should the market expect here? What do you think is going to happen there?
So I think, look, some are fearing it will be a hype event. I strongly disagree. I think this is the start of essentially what's going to be AI to developers. So it's really the start of a new AI app store from a services perspective. And I think the features that they're going to build in, not just their own, but OpenAI that they'll ultimately introduce, I think that's a partnership that's going to be exclusive and important.
One more Apple question. I really want to go financial, but I'm going to stay on the fanboy stuff. Dan Ives, what am I actually going to do with AI with Apple? If I've got the iPad and the Pencil Pro and I'm Mr. Artsy Fartsy, what's AI going to do for me where I look like I'm not making Popeye as a comic strip?
Well, first off, I think the big thing, especially with OpenAI and some of these LLM features, Apple is really trying to get you to almost bypass things like Google and some of the traditional search. But I think the biggest thing is just the features that you're going to see come out on healthcare, on consumer apps, on generative AI. It's all going to be apps. Developers are going to be building generative AI-driven apps on the iOS foundation, and that's the key. In the future, it's all going to be mostly through Apple devices. But that's what Microsoft's fighting this week. They want a piece of that from a consumer perspective.